Hey friends, I am Wendy Pope. This is Read Through the Word, October the 24th. Wow. Our key verse, but despite all the miraculous signs Jesus had done, most of the people still did not believe in him. You know, I'm not Jesus, and I don't have the impact that Jesus had. I don't have the influence, the power. I don't have any of that. But I do know the disappointment of ministry. When you're counting on something and you think it's going to go one way and it doesn't. Or you work really hard for this to be a great success and it isn't. It's weird because I recorded this. It's strange that I recorded this a while ago. And just this morning, I was up praying. Lord, I feel like Jeremiah. Remember all of the years that ministry, that Jeremiah put into ministry, and no one was converted. And I'm not saying all that to go for you to feel sorry for me at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that because I can only imagine how disappointed Jesus must have been. And thought of, and I included Romans, the scripture in Romans, where the Lord, or Paul, through the inspiration of the Lord, just says, I just gave them over, abandoned them, scripture says, to do whatever the shameful things their hearts desired. They traded the truth for a lie. They worshiped and served the things of God rather than instead the Creator himself, who was worthy of eternal praise. That's why God abandoned them to their shameful desires. I can see why Jesus would have been discouraged. And also on the other side of ministry sits a person, me, who has had life disappointments. And I can see how my heart can become hard. In fact, it has become hard at times. Just little old lay me sitting over here. My eyes became blind to seeing the things of God. And my heart was far from him to understand, and my mind to understand him, and my ears to hear him. The world's pace is instant. Forgiveness is difficult. Man's praise is satisfying. Living in our own way is living our own way sometimes, or most of the time, is non-confrontational because we're not coming up against the Spirit of God. Because the truth is, God does miraculous things every single day, everywhere. But the world is enticing. People are difficult. Life is hard. And our sight blurs, our hearing dulls, and our heart hardens. And we allow all of this. Yes, allow. That's what happens. We allow this to happen. Leon Morris, let me go back to this. He did not mean that the blinding takes place without the will or against the will of the people. These people. So with the hardening of their heart, these men chose evil. It was their own deliberate choice, their own fault. And I'm not saying we choose evil. Some do choose evil. They become so distraught with God, so distant from God, that they do choose evil. But there are people that just allow their hearts to be hardened, their ears to be deafened, and their eyes to be blind, that sit in church every Sunday, that continue to teach Sunday school, lead Bible studies. Because here's the thing, stuffing it down rather dealing with it directly. They've chosen to do that. We choose to move on our own in our own way rather than wait on his will. We don't want to celebrate. We want to celebrate our success rather than share it with him or others. We believe the world says what the world says rather than have faith in the unseen and the unknown and sacrifice. We sacrifice the future in the immediate rather than rest in the hope of the eternal. I can't imagine looking at this scripture. The Lord blinded them, hardened their hearts. Their eyes couldn't see, their hearts couldn't understand, and their ears could not hear. I can't imagine not hearing from God. I can't imagine not seeing God. I can't imagine not knowing God. But yet, when I choose to stuff things down, when I choose to move on my own way, when I choose to celebrate myself and my successes, when I choose to believe what the world says, and I choose to sacrifice my great future on the altar of the immediate, I harden my heart and I deafen my ears and I blind my own eyes. With my own will, I make those choices. So this really got me. This week, I dealt with something that I've been carrying around for 3 years. And I'm very happy that I did. I feel very free. But it had hardened my heart, and it had a root of bitterness had grown, and it had grown deep and taken root. And I knew it was time to let it go. I knew it was time to confront it, but I didn't want to. I had stuffed it. I was moving in my own way. And I know I missed something from God in 3 years because of it. And I don't want to know what I missed. I don't want to see it. So I want to encourage you today, if there's something that you need to deal with that you've been stuffing and you've moved on your way instead of following God's will, I encourage you to deal with it. Just rip the Band-Aid off and deal with it, because you will be free. Free to worship the Creator instead of the things that He creates. And that's what He wants for you, and that's what He wants for me. Let's not blind ourselves and harden our own hearts and stop up our own ears for our own will and our own stubbornness. It is not worth it. Take care. We'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.